Okay, what we're going to do is take this crazy looking function and take the time and write out the intervals on which the function is increasing, the function is decreasing, the function is concave up, the function is concave down. Let's do increasing first. I'm just going to go over here, I'll add a little note, and I'll say the function is increasing when. Now I know for increasing means I'm going up from left to right. So as I go from left to right, I start way over here. I'm going up, going up, going up, going up, going up until I get to about this point. Decimal says that's about minus 2.4, so I'm going to say something like x is less than negative 2.4. There are other times when it's going up. It starts going up again right about here, which is about negative 1.4, and stops going up at about negative 3.323. So let me just say, and when roughly minus 1.4 is less than x is less than minus 0.323. Now when I hit this peak, I start going down, 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 down until I get to the very bottom. Decimal says that's about 0.33, so I'm going to say, and also when, let's see, 0.33 is less than x, that's way down here, it stops going up. I'm going up, going up, going up, going up, going up until right about here. Decimal says that's about 1.4. And you can see at 1.4 I start going down just a little tiny bit, and then I start going back up again. I start going up, and finally also when x is bigger, according to decimals, 2.21. So those are all the intervals on which the function is increasing. So I go up, and then down, and then up, and then down, and then up, and down, then up. So I should have listed 1, 2, 3, 4 intervals where it's going up. So 1, 2, I did. Now let's list the intervals where it's going down. Those should just use the same numbers. Let's just add a note here so everyone can see. The function is decreasing. When? Well, let's see here. We had it going up to negative 2.4. So at minus 2.4, it starts going down. And it stops going down when x is negative 1.4. Let's see here. And also, when's the function going down? That was way up here. That was negative 3.23 according to Desmos. Minus negative 0.323 is less than x. So that's when I hit the very top, x is negative 0.323. Then at the very bottom, we had x being about 0.33, so that's when it stops going down. And then one more time, finally, when what? When it was just from this little point here to this little point over here, and I think that's between 1.4 and 2.21. When 1.4 is less than x is less than 2.21. Now there's nothing new here. This is stuff we've done before. I now want to do concave up and concave down. So, whoops, I want a note here. Putting a note. The function is concave up. When? Well, let's just look at this. At the very beginning, you can see it's actually looking like a little bit of a frown. So it's frowning all the way till it just about straightens out, which is right about here. Can I put a point there? I'm going to start putting points down so I can actually see these. So it straightens out, I'm thinking right about here, and stops frowning and starts smiling. That's negative 1.71. Let's see here. If I can go, hold on. Negative 1.71, comma, where did we decide this was? Right about here, and about negative 0.673. I would just like a dot on the graph there for reference there. Now you can see it starts, this looks like a little piece of a smile, so it's concave up there. You can see at the top, it's already concave down, it looks like a frown. So somewhere in the middle, I'm thinking right about here, you can see it looks very straight. I'm going to say negative 0.6, 0.51, 2.06. So that's going to be another point. negative 0.651, 2.06 is another dot on the graph. And that's when it actually stops being part of a smile and starts being part of a frown. Now you can see it's frowny, 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 frowny. By the time I get to the bottom, it's already smiling. I'm thinking right about 0, 0, so I'm just going to put 0, 0 there for reference. So I have a dot on the graph for reference. Now after 0, 0, you can see the bottom part here looks like a smile. That's concave up. But by the time I get to about here, maybe here, 0.62 minus 2.37. So it's this. 0.62 minus 2.37. You don't have to be this fussy, but I am at the moment. So that's when it actually stops smiling, straightens out, and then starts frowning again. Now it's going to start frowning, 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 frowning until it gets to about here, I think. That's 1.79, 0.661. 1.79, 0.661. Now what did I say about that? That's where it stops frowning and starts smiling again. I think I now have all the important points on the graph that we can actually just use those points to list. Let's see, I want concave up. Up until that first dot, it's concave down, but then it's concave up at that first dot, and that's when x is minus 1.72. So I'll go minus 1.72 is less than x, is less than the x value at the next dot, which is about negative 6.51, negative 0.651. And then it's concave down again, concave down again, until x is 0. At x is 0, it starts smiling again. So I'm going to write it like that. And then it's smiling, smiling, smiling until this red dot. The red dot is when x is 0.62, like that. And finally, I think concave up again when I'm to the right of what looks like 1.79. So that's when the graph is concave up. So it goes concave down, concave up, concave down, concave up, concave down, concave up. All right. And then we can finally answer the concave down. You notice we're just taking our time and just putting lots and lots of time into this. I want the function as concave down. Well, now that I've already done the concave up, this shouldn't be so bad. I think it starts being concave up at this negative 1.7. No, it's concave down before that. So I want concave down before that first dot. And when, let's see here, this dot here, that's going to be negative 0.651 until 0, I think. Negative 0.651 is less than x is less than 0. Then it's concave up again. Then it's concave down from the red dot to the blue dot. The red dot to the blue dot. And finally, when 0.62, that's the location of the red dot, is less than x is less than 1.79, that's the location of the blue dot. And you can see how we do this, right? You just break it up into little pieces. We're more careful with the concave up, concave down, because that's new. You've done the decreasing, increasing before, but now we actually have a nice list of when the function is going up, when the function is going down, when the function is concave up, and when the function is concave down. There is a practice problem for you guys to do.